It's time for another tale from the glass-guarded world. Ashley plays Tara Dane, the human fighter. Josh is Zartok, the tiefling wizard, and Gaston, the rogue and bard. Jessica is Coral Petrichor, the Genasi druid, and Mama Sass, the half-orc bard and barbarian. And Chris, of course, plays Aster Fortuna, rogue and bard extraordinaire. This time, only Chris appears, with occasional interjections by Jessica, as Josh's microphone quit working, and we had to alter our plans accordingly. The Glass Guardians have talked to the Sorcerer Queen of the city of Dorfolk, and they have proposed that she attack the city of Kint. Kint is a rival city, and Livarian has recruited an army from Kint and led it into Dorvit, yet another city in the region of the belt known as Gemigan. The Glass Guardians are hoping that if they can get the Sorcerer Queen something she wants, the city of Kint, she might help them with the attack on Livarian. The Queen seems receptive to the idea and agreed to talk further over dinner. The heroes went back to their ship, except for brave, handsome Aster Fortuna, who had attracted the attention of Ayeth, the Queen's beautiful seneschal. Oh man, she's truly a wonder. After a short romantic stroll, she somehow managed to magically charm poor Aster. Why would she do that? What does she have planned for him? Is Aster doomed?
Tara, Mama Sass, and Papa Gaston return to Corellan's Needle. They've been given permission to land their Spelljammer in an open square in the city. It's still raining slightly, and the city streets are glistening in the light of the late afternoon as they make their way out of the city, this time guarded by a smaller group of soldiers, only 50 this time, and they're escorted back to their ship. Meanwhile, Aster Fortuna is back in a hallway in the Sorcerer Queen's palace. Ayeth, the Queen's seneschal, has just magically charmed you. She leans against the stone wall and looks at you. Somehow she looks even more beautiful to you than she did before.
And then what was she again? What was her race?
She is a human woman.
Okay.
So she's leaning against the wall and she looks at you and she says, Mr. Fortuna, we're going to be great friends. Let's talk.
Yeah, well, whatever you would like. Man, you are glowing.
Oh, you are too kind. Well, I'd like to ask about your halfling friend. Who is he?
Oh, well, he's quite the scoundrel, but in the most beautiful of ways. He's my Papa Gaston, and he is a great father figure.
Papa Gaston, and he's a scoundrel, you say?
Well, you know, we're part of a troupe of musicians, and sometimes it gets a little handsy with things. We haven't done that in quite a while.
Oh.
We're very heroic now, but in the past.
I see, and are you also capable of being handsy? And she raises an eyebrow.
Oh. Well, I am good with my hands, yes.
Excellent. Follow me, please.
Oh.
She begins walking down the hallway, gesturing for you to follow.
I follow. I don't know if this is part of charm or part of Aster. He starts to get like a little bead of sweat as he starts imagining crazy things.
She says, well, I might have use of someone with a skill set like that. But please, follow me.
Yes.
And she walks down the hallway, and she stops at a door, and you can see further down the hall there are similar doors. And she says, here, follow me inside. These are my quarters here in the palace.
Oh.
And she opens the door and gestures for you to come in.
Sure. Yep. Confidence. I walk in.
The council members each have a room on this hallway. These are where we stay when we're working here in the palace. We have our own places in the city. At least I think we do. I do. And I think the others probably do as well.
Okay.
Here, let's have a glass of wine and we can chat more freely. And she shuts the door behind you.
Okay.
You can see that the room is small. It's only about 10 feet by 10 feet. There's a comfortable looking bed, a dresser, a large silver mirror, and a wooden chest. She reaches into the chest and pulls out a bottle of wine and 2 glasses. I would like you to make a perception check.
17.
17. All right. So you don't notice anything unusual in the room, although you do notice that there's a strong smell of perfume, which smells like her perfume in the room. And she pours some wine for each of you and sets the bottle of wine back down on the floor. She sits on the bed and then pats the spot on the bed next to her and offers you a glass of wine.
Okay. I slowly go, take the wine. As this is happening, as I transition to sit next to her, in my head, I'm thinking, could this truly be the one? Have I finally found the love of my life? It's almost like I'm in a fantasy. I sit down next to her.
And she raises an eyebrow again as you sit down and says, "That is a most unusual whip you have there. Does it do anything special?"
Oh, well, it has quite the reach. And it's a little magical here and there. It gets the job done. It's a wonderful instrument.
Interesting. And that cape is also unusual. That threading almost shimmers. I presume it must also be magical?
Oh, yes, very magical. It was given to me by my papa.
Oh, what a generous man. Does it do anything special?
Yes, it allows me to transport myself and anyone I'd like into other locations. Teleportation.
My goodness, that must be extremely useful.
Oh, it is. It has a lot of sentimental value to me.
And that guitar, I've never seen anything like it. Frankly, it's the strangest looking guitar I've ever seen.
Ah, yes.
Would you play for me?
Of course. And I play, I play the I Can Show You the World song from Aladdin. Dun,
Okay.
dun, 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 dun. You can add that in.
All right. I thank you. I'm now I get to learn how to play that.
You're welcome.
All right. She says, "That's simply amazing and beautiful. It seems almost unfair for someone to be both so handsome and so talented."
Well,
I wonder,
I start blushing.
what other talents do you possess? Maybe you can help me with something.
Yes, anything. I mean, I feel like we've just met, which is strange for me to feel this way already. But there's just something about you that sets my soul ablaze.
Oh, you're too kind. Well, let me show you something. And she stands up and goes to the back wall of the room. And she says, "Look over here. You see this wall here? It looks like an ordinary wall, nothing remarkable. But there is a secret door in this room, here in this wall. I know it's here, but I have not been able to open it in the month that I've been in these quarters. And I wonder if you could manage it."
I'll give it my best shot. For you, anything. Is this going to be like, a rendezvous through secret passages to a isolated location for a romantic, adventure? No? Maybe?
She puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "Oh, it could be. I hadn't thought of that."
Oh, then I'm more excited to get this underway. What should I do? Do you want me to feel around the wall? Boy.
Well, why don't you do another perception check? And this time you can have advantage because you know what you're looking for.
Ooh, that's much better. 22.
All right. So as you look around, she points out the door so you can see it, but you also see with your perception check, you see that there is a tiny blue hand-shaped indentation near the floor in the wall.
Oh.
And as you bend down to look at it, she says, "Yes, I saw that, but it doesn't seem to do anything. I've pressed on it with my hand, my foot, a glove, and nothing works. Perhaps it requires magic that I lack."
I see. Well, I'm going to try something. Bear with me. First, can I do an overall investigation?
Yeah, do an investigation check.
See if there's traps or anything.
Sure.
13.
You don't see any sign of traps. You do think that this hand symbol must have something to do with opening the door, but it is not immediately obvious how it's used to open the door. I mean, you try pressing it too, it doesn't do anything.
So I'm going to look at her and go, all right, if you'd be so kind, take a few steps back.
Oh, of course. She steps back by the other door.
Okay, and I step back with her. I wink at her, and I cast Mage Hand by the door.
Ah, using your telekinetic manipulator glove?
Yep.
All right. So you do that, and you cast it, and the hand appears by the door. What are you doing?
I move it to the spot that I perceived, and I'm going to press against it with the Mage Hand.
Nice work. The door silently slides open, and she looks at you in obvious surprise and says, "My, you are full of surprises."
I'm multi-talented.
I'm so impressed. Well, here's what I'm thinking. This passageway may lead to the Queen's quarters, but that's not what I'm interested in. I suspect it can be used to access the council members' rooms, including mine, of course.
Ah.
What I'm thinking is, tonight at dinner, we're going to have a difficult conversation with the Queen and the council, and we need to convince her to seize this opportunity to take Kent, because I think you and your group are correct that this is her chance. Several of the council members will resist this, however. If there's anything we can use to change their minds, we should use it. Perhaps we can find what we need in their quarters. They won't be in at the moment, since they'll all be out trying to learn what has happened this afternoon with your exciting arrival. Do you catch my meaning?
I think I do. And will there be any kind of equivalent exchange involved?
Equivalent exchange?
Yes. Will we be taking items that we might need and then exchanging them so that the exchanges are fair?
I don't think we want them to know we were there.
Okay.
And I won't necessarily be taking anything because I don't want them to know we were there, and I'm not really interested in stealing anything except perhaps information.
Okay.
What do you leave in exchange when you take information? Is there something that you leave behind?
No, not if I'm not taking the items physically. I could try to memorize the information or transpose it into one of my notebooks. Something as simple as that. But if you would like me to take it, I would be bound to leave something small behind. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe a pebble I found along the way. Or
then let's avoid taking something unless it's absolutely necessary.
Of course. But I will bring you back any information that you might need.
Well, we'll go together.
Oh. Ha, romantic rendezvous.
I wouldn't want to have our outing end so early.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
Of course.
You look into this stone hallway.
Mm-hmm.
The layer of dust on the floor suggests that it hasn't been used in a long time.
Okay.
The passage runs parallel to the outer hallway, the one that you came into her room through.
Mm-hmm. Several
doors probably lead into the council members' palace quarters, and opposite them is another passage in the middle of the hall heading off somewhere else.
Okay.
Aya smiles at you and says, well, let's see what we can find.
Of course.
The council members are Oswin, Aldrich, Sungifu, Ilafar, and of course, myself.
I'm going to just listen to this recording to write those down.
I'll say them again for the sake of your records. They will be important later.
Okay.
Oswin, Aldrich, Sungifu, Sunngifu.
Okay, continue.
And Ilafar. And of course, Ayath is also a council member. So she has some information about them. She says, Oswin is a sycophant and supports whatever he thinks the Queen supports. But maybe we can find something useful in his room.
Okay.
Aldrich is opposed to invading Kent. Maybe we can find the right inn.
Okay.
Sungifu is skeptical but very open-minded. We could probably just persuade him with good arguments. Ilafar is disagreeable in general and will oppose the invasion unless we can find out something that might personally benefit him in Kent. The closest room is Oswin's, so we'll start there.
Sounds good to me.
So she walks quietly down the hallway.
I follow her. Do you want me to stealth?
I would like you to make an insight check.
Oh, okay. My insight is ridiculously high.
Okay.
So my insight was a natural 20.
Okay. What's the total?
Oh, good call. 30.
30. Wow. Yeah, so as she steps into the hallway, she is being stealthy, so I assume you'll take a cue from that and be stealthy as well.
Yes. Should I roll?
Yeah, you're welcome to roll. You also notice that she does not seem to be affected by the darkness in the hallway at all.
Interesting.
Just like you are unaffected by it.
27 stealth.
All right, so you're stealthier than she is, and she actually urges you to go first.
Okay.
The two of you walk quietly down the hallway, and you stop at another secret stone door. There is a blue-shaped hand indentation near the floor, and Ayath looks at you expectantly.
I cast Mage Hand and press down on it.
All right, the door silently slides open into a room the same size as Ayath's, 10 feet by 10 feet. Unlike Ayath's room, this room is decorated with sumptuous tapestries on the wall, a colorful rug on the floor, and a dresser with a great deal of gold jewelry scattered across it. A large wooden chest sits at the foot of the bed, probably locked. There is a charcoal pencil on a nightstand next to the bed, but you don't see any paper. And she chuckles to herself and says, Oswin is so vain.
Yes, it's
Let's have a look.
It's gaudy. And go inside.
Yes, gaudy is a good word for it. Make a perception check to search the room.
Was the insight for anything that I would know? Or is that just for you?
You definitely noticed that despite being a human, she seems completely unaffected by the darkness in the hallway.
Okay, that's what that was. Okay.
She seems much more comfortable than a human would normally be simply walking down the hallway.
Got it.
Which just makes her even more wonderful in your mind.
Yeah. 20, soft 20.
Well, and also maybe isn't weird because Coral regularly casts dark vision on Terra, so maybe something like that's happened.
Right.
True.
All right, what did you roll for your perception?
Soft 20.
Soft 20. All right. So the two of you search the room. You put together that Oswin is a vain man who values wealth and fine things. Do you want to look inside the chest? You want to try to open it?
Yes, I will.
All right.
Investigate it.
Investigation. All right. Show you if you can figure out anything special about the chest. Make an investigation check.
Not bad. 16.
All right. You don't see anything unusual about the chest. It seems not to be trapped. As far as you can tell, there's no unusual mechanism, just a simple lock.
Okay, I will pull out my thieves' tools.
All right. And she sighs and looks at you as though sort of swooning and says, "Oh, I should have known. What a man."
Well, I did say I was good with my hands, and I put the tools in the hole to unlock it.
All right. Okay, and make a tool use check. So that's
dexterity plus
your
proficiency?
proficiency bonus plus your dexterity bonus. If you have expertise, then you double your proficiency bonus.
Oh,
If you have expertise with your tools.
that's a good question. Where do I check that?
I have no idea.
Wait, I think I know.
That is something that D&D Beyond at least didn't used to do very well, was report your expertise.
Let me look at expertise real quick. I think I might have
For
that.
tools, I mean. You would have had to select tools as something that you were better at some point.
I have expertise under sleight of hand and acrobatics
But you would need it under tools.
Yeah,
so
I don't.
just roll your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity bonus.
Let me down? Or maybe let me down. I don't know what we're doing here. Total of 18.
18. Yeah, it's not a difficult lock. You are able to pop it open, and Ayath smiles at you. And
Sorry, may I just interject? You do have expertise in thieves' tools. If you look under features and traits, it's towards the middle, under expertise. Thieves' tools and stealth.
In proficiencies?
Features and traits.
oh, cool.
I can look at your character
Character
sheet.
sheet. Excellent. Thank you, Jessica.
So you do double your proficiency. It's the same as sleight of hand, because that's also
Oh.
expertise.
Where did you see that, though?
Features and traits.
Yeah, but
Scroll
where?
down. It's under rogue features. There's expertise.
I see it. Yes, I see it. Thieves' tools and stealth.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry.
So you can use your sleight of hand. It's the same thing because your sleight of hand is also expertise.
Okay, so it would have been 22.
All right, 22. Again, you snap it open with a little difficulty. Inside, you find splendid robes and other clothing, and a sketchbook.
May I?
Of course, she says, please.
I open the
Just
sketchbook.
be careful with it.
Okay, I gently open it to see what's inside.
All right, so you find that inside are charcoal sketches of a person you take to be Oswin, an elderly human man, being adored by citizens. Sometimes he's wearing a medal, sometimes he's leading a force on horseback. In every image, there is the Sorcerer Queen somewhere in the background, beaming at him proudly.
He is also quite the romantic, my lady.
Perhaps. I think he must know better than to attempt to romance the Sorcerer Queen. But perhaps he fantasizes.
Most likely.
Any ideas for how we could use this to our advantage?
We could, like blackmail.
How wonderfully devious of you.
That wasn't a suggestion, but if that's what we're doing, anything for you. If you think it will be to our best benefit. And this is all for the betterment of Durfolk and
of course.
The invasion of Kent, correct?
That's right, which was your proposal.
Yes, yep. Whatever it takes.
Of course. So let's put it all back the way it was.
Yep.
And let's go see if we can find anything in Aldrich's room.
Okay. And I try to put everything back the way that I found it.
Okay.
Close it up, I lock it.
You know what? Make a sleight of hand check. Let's see how good a job you do.
Okay.
Jessica, I'm sorry. There's just not much going on for you to do.
I'm taking copious notes, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
My sleight of hand is crazy. So it's 24 total.
All right. So as far as you can tell, it looks exactly the same as it did when you came into the room.
Okay.
The next room, you again cast Mage Hand.
Mm-hmm.
You close that door behind you. You open the next door. The door silently opens into a room, again, the same size as Iath's, 10 by 10. This room is Spartan. A simple straw mattress lies on the floor, though the pillow on it looks comfortable. The door out into the main hallway has a string tied to the doorknob. Opening it without grabbing the string would set off a trap, which would apparently spill a container above the door onto whoever entered. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about that since you came in through the secret door. At the foot of the bed is a small chest, and there is a small dresser with a silver sculpted owl on top of it.
But I've taken notice of that trap, correct?
That's right, yeah.
I put my hand out and I go, well, I have noticed the trap there. This gentleman seems to be a lot more careful than the last one. We should be careful when maneuvering around this room. There could be more traps.
She says, well, it's not a gentleman, it's a halfling woman.
Ah.
Yes, but good catch there. I'm glad you saw that. That could have caused problems. Yes, this is Aldrich's room. She is wise and clever, and we probably won't be able to change her mind. But perhaps we can still find something useful in here. The owl is there because she is in fact a cleric of the goddess Praised and Sharp.
Praised and Sharp.
Praised and Sharp. You've heard of her before.
Yes.
She is a goddess of wisdom and defensive warfare.
That's quite the god she follows. I also have quite the god myself.
Really?
I point to my face.
I wondered about that. So you're a follower. Well, that's so wonderfully romantic.
Thank you.
I'll have to see what all she's taught you.
She's taught me quite a bit. But either way, would you mind if I make a general investigation of the room?
Oh, no, please.
For traps.
So make a perception check first just to see what's around, and then if you want to figure something out, make an investigation check.
You got it. Not the best. 15.
15.
Oh, wait. But do I revert to my passive?
Yeah.
Which would be 16.
Okay, yeah. So you don't see anything unusual. As I said, it's very Spartan. You suspect the chest is locked, but there's really not much here.
Okay. Well, I would still like to do an investigation of where the owl statue drawers area is.
Okay.
And the chest for traps.
What are you trying? You're just trying to figure out
if there's anything there that might.
Okay. If you want, investigation is for figuring something out, but you can go ahead and roll it and see if there's anything interesting going on here.
So I want to see if there's any kind of etchings or strings or.
Okay.
Kind of levers, anything that could cause something negative to occur.
All right.
17.
No, as far as you can tell, this is just a simple bit of decoration, maybe a religious symbol. and the drawers are filled with simple tunics.
Okay. I think we're okay, my lady.
Would you mind opening this chest as well?
Of course. I will do that. Not so great. Let's see what would be better. And you said I could use sleight of hand or?
Well, the sleight of hand has the same bonus.
Okay. So that will be a total of 18.
Good enough. It's a simple lock. You open it up. It's filled with more simple clothing, nothing fancy. You search through the chest, and at the bottom you find a silver knife, but nothing else.
A silver knife to hunt. Maybe she's a hunter of some kind?
I don't think she's particularly into hunting. In fact, I think she favors a bow. But I suppose it might be just an emergency weapon.
Yeah, maybe she uses it.
Or maybe it's ceremonial.
True.
Well, in any case, we'd probably better leave that here. It looks like there's really not, as I suspected, there's not much of value here. I suppose we better move on to Sungifu's room. I'll tell you what, you go ahead and get that room open, and I'll take one last look around.
Could this item be related to her god in some way?
She'll make a religion check.
Okay.
She says, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that Praised and Sharp is known for carrying silver knives.
Okay. Well, Lady Ayeth, out of curiosity, do we need for all of them to be in agreement with the plan, or just a majority?
No, just a majority.
I see.
And of course, we must convince the Sorcerer Queen herself.
Got it.
Although she seems already inclined.
Yes, I think our speech went pretty well. Did a good job there, maybe. Well, I'll let you do your investigations. I shall open the other door for you, my lady.
Well, thank you. And she stands there looking around the room for a bit, and you leave and go to the next room?
Yep. I don't want to leave, but charmed.
Yep. So you go to the next room, you open the door, and she joins you just a moment later. You can hear the chest closing in the room behind you, and she closes. She waits for you to close that secret door before entering the next room.
Got it. I look around this room. Is there anything?
All right. When you open the door, bright light spills out into the hallway. A magical lamp is set in the ceiling of this small room, shining nearly as brightly as the sun. Ayeth comes up behind you and says, "Goodness, that seems excessive. Sungifu is a cleric of Assembler in the Square.
Oh.
He is the council member most likely to be open to a good argument." Inside the room, you see a simple bed, although a comfortable but simple bed, a dark wooden dresser, and a small metal chest. There is a basin of water on a pedestal by the door.
Interesting. And what is he?
He is a cleric.
No, but what is his race?
He's a human.
Human. And the other one was a halfling, or was it a dwarf?
Aldrich is a halfling. Oswin is a human. Sungifu is a human.
All right. Where would you like me to start, Lady Ayeth?
Well, I suppose let's just look around the room in general first.
Okay. Well, I rolled a total of a 16, so...
The two of you look around. You don't see anything unusual in here, just the chest and the basin of water. The water has a towel next to it. You would guess it's for washing one's hands.
Okay.
She says, I suppose we'll try the chest again?
Sure. Oh, 22.
All right. You pop open the chest without difficulty. And inside is just a variety of little knickknacks. There's a small holy symbol that looks like a bow. And there's another holy symbol that looks like a sun.
Oh.
There's a pair of nice leather gloves. Looks like maybe gloves for use with a bow.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anything else in here.
Now, for this one, is the sun symbol something that I would know is related to the assembler in the square, or?
You haven't done a lot of research on the gods, but if you want to ask Ayeth...
Yes, I will.
She'll tell you that Assembler in the Square is a god of reason and truth and archery, although there's another god who is also associated with archery. Also somewhat associated with the sun.
Ah, I see. This is a fascinating little romantic rendezvous. I've never been on a date quite like this, if I'm being quite honest.
Oh, well, let's hope there are many more. And she brushes her hand across your arm as she heads back out into the hallway.
I got like a sensual chill.
She's apparently done with this room.
Okay.
She says, I think that for Sungufu, our best hope is to rely on reason.
Of course. You would know best. And then I will close everything up and try to make it look just like before.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
19.
19. All right. So it looks pretty good. It would take someone paying very close attention to realize that someone had been in here.
Gotcha.
And you go to the next room, and you open it again. You close the other door behind you, I assume.
Yep.
You open the door and are overwhelmed with the smell of musty books.
Oh.
There's a small cot in the corner with clothes heaped upon it, but the rest of this room is filled with bookshelves. And Ayeth looks shocked. She says, This must be his primary residence. The rest of us have real homes out in the city. She looks over all the books, tracing her hand along them. Books on magic of all kinds.
This is fascinating. What does he have a magical persuasion?
Well, he is a wizard. He's an elven wizard.
Ah.
Maybe we can use this. Any ideas? He seems to be a collector.
Would he be interested in magical artifacts?
I would guess you'd be right. I don't think it would be as simple as just saying, support our position and we'll give you some magical artifacts, though.
No, but I have the idea that if we could persuade the others and turn to Ilafar and suggest that we could acquire some of their items when we invade Kent, any kind of magical artifacts or information we could pilfer and equivalently exchange, we can bring all of that back for him.
Oh, do you think there's much magic in the city? I wonder if there is.
I'm sure there might be.
There must be something. I mean, perhaps there's a source of magical books there we could take advantage of.
Yes, also, we could also try to persuade that the ones invading Kent, Laverian, is an elf of some sort, if I'm correct. And he might have secrets that he's left behind or has in Kent that we could also take.
Fascinating. I think you are on the right track. I think that's an excellent idea. Yes, let's tell him that there might be some useful magic there, which perhaps could be seized and redistributed to put to better use. I love it. That's a wonderful plan. Oh, you're so clever. And she gives you a big kiss on the cheek.
I don't know what color a dark elf would turn when he blushes. A purple.
This is going swimmingly. Oh, I think we're done here. I think this has gone wonderfully well. Anything else that you think we should look into while we have access to these rooms?
Well, was there any chest here or anything private that was locked?
Oh, yes, you want to look through Ilafar's room for a chest? Okay,
Or
make a
something
perception check.
Right. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18.
18. Yeah, so you make a quick look around the room. She'll help you with that. She doesn't find anything, but you find behind some books is a set of books that are actually a false front, and behind them you find a small metal chest.
Oh. I found something, Lady Ayeth.
Ooh, aren't you thorough?
I do my best.
Well, let's see what it is.
I will roll an investigation for traps.
Okay. All right.
That is a soft 20. 15 plus 5.
All right, so it has an interesting mechanism on it, and you think, in fact, it probably is trapped.
Ah. Well, interesting. Does it feel... I don't know if this is a intelligence check, an arcana check, or I don't know what check it would be to not try to unlock the mechanism, but put the tools in and see if there's anything unique that would feel like a more difficult lock that I can maneuver with the tools.
You can disarm the trap if you want.
That's what I'm trying to find out, but I'm trying to find out if it's a physical trap or if it's more of something magical.
Oh, you think this is a physical trap?
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will try to disarm it. What am I doing to disarm?
Tool use check again.
Oh, okay. My God. 17 plus 11.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so this seems like amateur work to you. You are able to pop the lock and disarm the trap, and a little needle pops out from the chest harmlessly, right where your hand would be if you were not fully aware and capable of making the trap harmless. And you just, I guess, slide the needle back into place and look inside. And inside are a few scrolls.
Now, would I know? Does opening a scroll do anything inconvenient, or?
No, unless it's a trapped scroll. I mean, unless it has some sort of magical spell on it that, by looking at it, you activate it. But otherwise, there's nothing special about opening a scroll and looking at it.
I look on the seal. Is there anything weird about it?
No, they're not even sealed.
Oh. And I'll stare at it till I get hypnotized.
You unroll the scroll. These are spell scrolls.
Yes.
And I don't think you actually recognize them because they're not of your school.
Ah. Does it have some kind of name written on them?
Let's see. Hold on a moment. Let me look something up.
My understanding was if you don't know this, like if you can't know the spells, then you can't read the scrolls, but I don't know that that's true.
That's what I thought, but I'm trying to verify that.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
All I know is that sometimes, like, scrolls are written in a specific language or symbology.
It's written in some magical language like Draconic or something, but it's not something you can decipher unless it's a spell that you have access to.
Okay.
And then one of them you think is not actually even a spell scroll. One of them looks like some other kind of scroll. A magical scroll, but not a spell scroll.
But the writing is still the same. Something
yes,
I can't
the same kind
read.
of writing.
Okay.
It could be some other kind of... There are other kinds of magical scrolls aside from spell scrolls.
Gotcha. And I'll just turn to her. Well, these are just high-level magic scrolls, I think, that I cannot read.
I can't read them either, so I suppose we'd better put them back.
Yes. I click everything, put it all away, try to make everything look seamless again. Assuming I can get that done with a 10 plus 11, 21.
Of course, yes. You are able to put everything away without leaving any indications that anything unusual happened here. And she says, well, I think that this was a great success. Let's cover our tracks and head back to my room.
Of course. I close the door with Mage Hand.
And the door slides silently closed behind you. She says, what should we do about our tracks in the dust here?
Oh, I have a great idea. And with Mage Hand, I start...
smoothing it out?
Smoothing them out as we're walking.
You are so clever.
And then, just for extra measure, I prestidigitation. Could I do that? That might not be. Because I could clean the dust, and I don't want to do that because I want it to look like we were still there.
I'll assume you can spread the dust around a bit.
Yeah, I couldn't prestidigitation just the tracks. It would clean the dirt as well, right?
Yes,
how that would work? Yeah, so I'd just use Mage Hand then.
Okay.
To kind of spread things, make it look like if it was like before. If you want me to roll intelligence to see if I remember kind of the layout.
I think I'll just say if you take some time, you can smooth it out, and that's fine.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So you re-enter her room, and she says, "Well, that was very exciting."
Yes, quite.
What shall we do now?
If you wouldn't mind, I would.
Yes.
Love to discuss the plans, things that you would like to do, and maybe even stay the night. Oh, nothing crazy, or I don't want to give you the wrong impression.
Oh, my goodness, you're forward, aren't you? Well,
no, I just have never felt this way before.
Well, let's take things a step at a time. Perhaps we'll chat for a bit. I'll tell you what. I'll take you on a tour of the castle.
Sure.
Your friends will probably be arriving sometime soon.
Of course.
Well, let's do that then. We could even see the zoo. There's a menagerie if you like.
I think that would be wonderful.
I agree.
I ask for her hand.
She offers you her hand.
I gently kiss it and I say, "Lead the way, my lady."
Wonderful. Let's have a tour. So she takes you on a tour of the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the staff look at you a bit jealously as
Really?
you walk around with this woman on your arm. Some of them may be a bit suspiciously, but everyone's extremely polite to you because everyone here is polite.
I do hand signals like gesturing hello.
All right, you sort of do the tip your hat gesture to them.
Tipping my hat.
Aster doesn't have a hat,
Nope.
but he does the tip your hat gesture. And you walk around the castle. She shows you some of the tapestries. She shows you some of the art. She starts to take you to the menagerie, but right about that time, news arrives that your shipmates have arrived in the city. They've landed in the city, and they're doing some shopping. And maybe you want to join them, maybe you don't. And Ayeth actually offers to go with you if you want to join your friends.
Okay, and I say, the strangest thing. You are something different, something wonderful. You are so enrapturing that I won't lie. I forgot that they were here for a second.
Oh, you are too sweet. Well, let's go tell your friends about the dinner plan. And we don't have to tell them, of course, about what we've been up to.
Of course not. We'll keep it our little secret.
Right, but we'll tell them about who we'll be talking to at dinner and how we'll have to persuade each of them to argue in our favor. And hopefully we can convince a majority of them to go along with the plan. And if all goes well, then the Sorcerer Queen will be in favor of rearranging her plans. And hopefully she can take action on Kent. And, of course, we'll all profit from this.
Yes. I think this is a wonderful idea. And all of a sudden, I scratch my head because I'm like, it's weird because I love my friends. I'm like, that's weird. I forgot. Anyway.
I can tell your friends are very important to you. And I'm sure that with time I'll come to love them just as much as you do.
I'm sure we would. Actually, what does this mean for us? I don't want to be forward like I was before. This is new to me. I want to be fair. What is this? I find something special about you, but I don't want to overstep or fantasize something that is not a reality.
Well, I like you too, dear. I think that perhaps this could be something special. Let's take it step by step and see where it takes us.
Of course. And I will be honest. You are confident, wise, not to say the least beautiful, but that confidence and the way you carry yourself is something special that I think I've only seen once in someone, and I scratch my head again. But let's not talk about other people. This is about you. Lead the way. We'll go back to our friends.
All right. And on the way, you can tell me all about yourself and where you come from and how you got to be here.
Yes, I'm an open book for you, Ayeth.
All right. So we'll stop there with Aster and Ayeth walking to the part of the city where the Spelljammer has landed.
Okay. Did I do any kind of cool little hints, nods to tease the fans about anything? I don't know.
I enjoyed it. I don't. If they were trying to hint at anything in particular, maybe I didn't catch it, but maybe they will.
It was subtle for Tara.
Oh, for Tara, yeah.
Tara.
Okay, yeah. I wondered. Okay, if that's what you mean. Then yes,
and
yes.
Scratching my head.
Yeah,
thinking about her, but then being enraptured by her.
Yeah. Do you? Is Aster going to? Has Aster forgotten about his Pegasus? Are they going to walk?
Oh no! If you want to add this piece,
okay,
I'm going to. Let's do this. So you exiting the
you exit the castle,
palace.
The palace. That you exit the palace and head back out into the city.
And just with my mind, I say, Syl, my wonderful steed, would you mind coming and letting us ride to our friends?
Why, it would be my dearest honor to help you in any way I can, Aster.
God, you're awesome. Yeah, and I summon her over. She flies majestically.
Ayeth is extremely impressed and says, "My goodness, you have a Pegasus? I don't think I've seen a Pegasus on this entire world. That's amazing." Well,
yes, these are the gifts of my god, I believe.
Impressive. Well, in that case, why don't we fly?
Of course, my lady, and I try to help her up.
All right, you help her up, and you climb up after her, and on your Pegasus, you fly to the landing location of Corellan's Needle.
Wait, hold on. I'll say, what is that phrase that Jesse from Toy Story says, or that Woody says? I go,
Fly like the wind, Symphonia.
Okay. and you do. And we'll find out what happens when you meet the rest of your group next time.
So, Jessica, how do you feel about this riveting espionage mission?
I mean, I am curious what her ends are, what she's after.
Am I. I don't know how far my charm affects, like, would I pry for more information or not, kind of stuff.
You got an hour, and once the hour's up, you know you've been charmed.
That's assuming this is a ordinary charm spell.
That's true. It could be something special that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, that's true. It could be dominate person, which would be...
Oh, if it were dominate, it would be different. I would just be telling you what your character does.
Ah, that's true. You're right. She is still trying to enrapture me. I'm thoroughly enraptured. Awesome.
Cool. All right, Jessica, are you taking notes? Do you pick up anything there?
Oh, I got like a page and a half of notes on that. Like I've got a bunch of questions about her now.
Yeah, I'm super curious about this lady. Like, a part of it I know is a manipulation of my character through this spell. But now I'm interested in what really are her goals. Why go through to these lengths?
Yeah, what is she doing?
And she's only been there for a month.
She couldn't do on her own.
What was she doing before that? Why did she come at that time? Like, it's a lot of questions here.
And how has she ingratiated herself so quickly to being the advisor to this queen?
I mean, she's running around charming people, so she's clearly not great, but...
Yeah. I mean, Aster's smart enough to try to think about some of these things, but not right now. Right now, it's all about Ayeth. What a wonderful person. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
thank you for your line. I hope this wasn't boring.
No, it was very interesting. I feel like that makes a short but all by itself episode. I feel like I think
that can be a good self-contained episode.
It kind of worked out that we couldn't record. Like, you guys didn't have to rush.
Right. I was going to cut back and forth before. So I was going to cut back and forth between a room and then the rest of the group shopping and then a room and the rest of the group shopping. But this works just fine. We won't have to cut back and forth, and Aster can join in on the shopping if necessary. So
yeah, it could be like a quick little, could be a bonus episode, or it could be its own.
I think it could be its own little regular episode. Yeah.
Can't wait for the others to hear this and then because I think in their minds, the point of this, even if this wasn't the craziest little session, even though we have a lot of questions, even if it was something super mundane, now Josh and Ashley are thinking wild thoughts. And so I think that piece is exciting, because then they're questioning what's going on as we continue to play.
Yeah.
I think you'll make whatever surprises you have, Mike, hit a little harder.